The Legacy Fighting Alliance staged its second of 4 straight events from the Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Let's go, we gotta get out of there, let's go.
Ron Kruk in the UFC Hall of Famer, Pat Miletich with you for your LFA 89 recap. Pat, we start in the flyweight division, and Clayton Carpenter, Manuel Medina. Carpenter's a guy you got to keep an eye on.
Well, Carpenter came out, on fire. He really did. But Medina, in that third round, came back and made it very interesting. Injured Carpenter's leg. Both these guys are going to be back.
Yeah, 3-0 for Clayton Carpenter. Keep an eye on the MMA Lab product. Then Josh Fremd took on Lamar Gosey, and Fremd, this was nasty.
Brutal, violent finish there. Fremd getting that half Nelson, opening up Gosey's head to strikes and then opening it up with strikes.
You called it, Pat. Gosey was wide open for that knee. Fremd delivered. Highlight finish for Josh Fremd, who improves to 5-1. Big underdog Sanford MMA's Tyler Ray, 6-1. Steve Jones, 6-1. Someone's win streak was coming to an end tonight. Jones was the aggressor early on.
Well, it was obvious that Tyler Ray wanted to work on his striking a little bit, but I tell you what, I think he was surprised in the counter wrestling and offensive wrestling that he saw out of Jones. Now, he clipped him there with the right hand, thought he had him in trouble, but I tell you what, Jones did an amazing job in this fight with wrestling back and being aggressive and not being intimidated by the wrestler and just diving right into it. I mean, he said it flat out. You can see him there hitting the switch and dumping Tyler and getting after it. I tell you what, and we thought he was very tired going into the third round. He sucked it up in the third round and pulled out the victory.
A razor-thin split decision victory goes the way of Steve Jones, his 4th straight win. Contender Series vet Desmond Torres taking on Muay Thai stylist Ricardo Diaz, and this was an exciting fight.
It was, and Torres spent the entire fight in Diaz's face. I mean, that picture right there of Diaz with his back against the cage, that was the whole fight, but it was the heavy leather constantly out of Diaz, and Torres landed a lot of shots, but Diaz just very, very heavy-handed, and that sweeping right hand and those uppercuts were paying off, landing almost at will, opening up that eye on Torres. And basically, he kept that cut open, didn't he?
He sure did. Des Torres never stopped moving forward, but it was really the big shots and the damage done by Ricardo Diaz. He, too, earned a razor-thin split decision.
Yes.
Co-main event, DeMarquez Jackson facing Adrian Hadre Bayai. Bayai coming in at 10-1 and took Jackson down with that kick.
Yeah, booted his legs out from underneath him, but I tell you what, Jackson quickly responds, gets the takedown off the single leg, gives him the misdirection with the left arm across the neck, then sneaks the right in, goes palm to palm, and starts squeezing.
That kick, I think, made Jackson wake up and maybe a little bit mad. He just kept hunting that neck, and then that was all.
Persistence.
Gets another first-round submission victory. DeMarquez Jackson breaks a 2-fight losing streak. Then a key matchup, Joe Gianetti and Bryant Moore. Future lightweight title fight maybe on the line, and Moore with the takedown. And then Pat came out in the second round firing. The jiu-jitsu black belt can throw some punches,
Yeah, it was
too.
clear that Moore was going to put his black belt against Gianetti's grappling expertise at every moment in this fight, showing the confidence with the takedown while in the guillotine, transitioning to the mount, doing such a good job passing the guard, getting the cross sides, here starting that arm triangle. And I tell you what, Gianetti did an amazing job surviving that submission attempt, but it was Moore dominating position on the ground that got him the victory.
A lot of action on the canvas. Brent Moore improves to 8-1 and may have earned himself a future title shot. Well, next week at LFA